because I know Linnea mentioned something about men at the bar gigs, and I heard some people go, men? And as we all know, men can't come to the live parties when we do a demo like in someone's home, but if you do something in public, like she mentioned a bar gig, a vendor show, if it's an open house, it's called an open house, not a party, and there's no live demo, that's when men can come. So always refer to us or corporate if you guys have questions about the fine line with that. We never want to be breaking those rules. And again, she has the files on the Red Hot group. It's a great way to upsell. And I know using the date night cards is awesome too instead of playing cards, and then that in and of itself is an upsell. So thank you, Linnea, and thank you, Victoria. I didn't thank you when you were done. So thank you.
Anything with men or a corporate gig or bar gig, you have to get that approved by corporate. If you have any other further questions, of course, contact corporate or your sponsor, but you do need to have that approved, okay?
Perfect. And then next up we have Lisa. She is role playing with Caitlin, and she's gonna give us a little inside scoop and what she does in her ordering room. So I personally shadowed Lisa. She actually does this legitimately at every party, with every client, without fail, no matter what. She's consistent, she's deliberate, she's detailed, she makes great customer connections. That's why she currently has over 100,000 in sales this year. Most in sales in the Red Hot team ever. Not just this year, ever. Right?
And she's
been promoted a million times. So this is what she does in her ordering room to every client to help upsell, answer questions, do booking and recruiting. So you guys definitely want to take notes of this. Keep in mind all of this stuff Kirsten is also videoing it, and it will be available on our YouTube channel in a couple days.
Yeah, YouTube channel.
All right, ladies, if I don't use the mic, can you all hear me?
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit more comfortable without it. So just to kind of explain, Kayla's exactly right that I am pretty deliberate in this. So before we actually do the role play, I want you to kind of understand that I do 5 questions. Every single time I ask my customers 5 questions. So I'm gonna, I think what we're going to do booking and recruiting games. So what I'm kind of thinking is we're going to do a role play first through with a focus on booking, and then we can do a couple of questions. If you guys have some different scenarios you want to throw at me, I can kind of show you how I respond. And then I want Caitlin and I to do it a second time through with a focus on recruiting, so that you can and then we can do a little bit more Q&A then. Okay. So why don't you, if I exceed 5 minutes, can you let me know? Okay. All right. So, Caitlin, how much fun did you have tonight?
So much.
Awesome. Well, what questions do you have for me this evening?
None that I could think of right now. I'm just excited to place my order and that stuff. It was so much fun.
Awesome. That means I did my job. So, I've got a couple quick questions for you.
Okay.
All right. First of all, how would you like to host your own ladies' night where you can earn lots of free goodies?
I would like to, but I'm not too sure if I have enough friends for that.
Okay. I totally hear you. Well, can you think of 5 women that you know that weren't here tonight but you think might enjoy a party like this?
Well, I know my aunt would definitely love a party like this.
Okay.
I think I have my hairdresser who would like this.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe my aunt's coming, my cousin would definitely be coming then, so, her.
Okay.
And, my best friend wasn't here at this, Jackie, so, okay, so that's one more, and, the 5th person. We could probably have Jackie beat someone up to get someone to come, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's 5.
Sounds good. Well then, I think, here's what I would say. What I'd like for us to do is why don't we schedule a party tonight?
Okay.
We can at least tentatively book it. You can go out, kind of check with those women, see if it's going to work for them. And here's what I would say. If you find that you're not getting if you feel like you're getting pushback from them or it just won't work out, just let me know. If you could let me know within the next 48 hours if this won't work, then no problem. But it's much easier to kind of talk to people, see if you can get a good response, and we can go from there. How's that sound?
That sounds good. Tentative date sounds good.
All right. I'm not going to go through the whole rigmarole if that's okay. We'll schedule a date at this point. What? Are you laughing at my language? Rigmarole.
Just kidding. That's a word.
Yeah, I grew up with old ladies, okay? I would still then, my next question would be how would you like to learn about the business opportunity?
I'm kind of interested. No?
Not a problem. We're gonna go back through this again.
Oh, okay.
All right, not a problem. There's a little bit of information in your hostess packet. If either you or someone else that you know would be interested, you can pass it along. So what goodies would you like to take home this evening? And then we would go through the order. So basically, just to kind of reiterate, my 5 questions are, how much fun did you have tonight? What questions do you have for me? Then I say, sorry, I'm just thinking about this. I kind of break this up in a few different ways, but I guess I'm like, all right, I've got a couple questions for you. I tell them I'm going to ask them 2 questions, and the 2 quick questions I ask are, how would you like to host your own ladies' night where you can earn lots of free goodies? I don't say party, and I don't say book a party. I don't say those words. I say, how would you like to host your own ladies' night where you earn free goodies, okay? And then I'm like, give me one sec, Stacy. And then I'm like, would you like to learn about the business opportunity? And then what goodies would you like to take home tonight? And then as a follow-up, as they tell me what they want, I keep asking, what else? What else? What else do you want? What else do you want? And I never say, like, is that it? No, you just keep saying what else. So I'm sorry, Stacy.
And I said too, like, host your own ladies' night. I actually learned recently that you should say, like, have. You can say have instead of anything. Don't say schedule, don't say
Yep.
host. Because like, when people think, like, host, they think, like, oh, it's so hard. No, it's easy.
Yeah.
You get 5 girls with a bag of chips. Like,
Yep,
have a party.
yep, totally.
Cheese.
So,
Crackers and cheese.
so here's what I would say. What types of objections are you hearing at your parties? Because I can do a quick I can do a rundown of how I would overcome an objection. What types of party objections are you hearing?
I don't have time.
Okay. You know, honestly, that's one where I'm kind of like, okay. You know, at that point, I usually say, I might ask them to tell me a little bit about themselves, like, what do you do for a living? And, you know, honestly, at that point, yeah, really, I do ask a lot of questions. I might say, can I add you to my maybe later list? If it's like something like, my mom's in the hospital and like I'm working full time and going to school, you know, I understand, okay? I do understand. That's kind of my attitude about it. Pam?
I had one that said, my partner's not big enough.
Okay, that's a common one. So, all right. I would say something, I would usually give a few scenarios like, I might say, oh, okay, I totally understand. Can you think of another woman that might be interested in hosting a party with you? So I asked them to co-host, or honestly, and this is up to you, but when I've been really desperate for a party, I have actually offered my own house. Yeah, and I have had hostesses take me up on that. So if you're comfortable with that, what we haven't done and what I want you guys to see is, I don't want you to tell me up front why you don't want to do the party. So how would you like to have your own ladies' night where you earn free product?
I'm not too sure.
Okay. What's holding you back? Do you mind if I ask what's holding you back?
I don't know if they'll have enough people there to make it worth your while.
Okay. Can you think of 5 people? So that's where I want you to be comfortable enough to ask people what is holding you back from hosting a party.
They will tell you.
They will tell you. And you know, at the very least, there's nothing wrong with asking, because at the very least, it'll help you understand so that the next time you have that objection, you know how to handle it better. You know what I mean?
How would you handle it when they say, well, I don't want to take my husband out of the house?
Yeah.
So I would say I totally understand. There's a few options. For one thing, I'm going to give you a few options here. Because I actually had this recently happen where we had actually planned for like 6 weeks. And then she was like, oh, my cousin can't leave. So I actually offered to give her a $10 gift certificate to Regal, get him to the movies for an hour and a half. I did. What? Yeah. It was a $1,900 party. It was well worth my $10. So you absolutely could do something like that. Oh, he has nowhere to go? Well, how about I'll give you a $10 gift certificate. Take him to the movies for about an hour and a half. Sorry. All right. Are we halfway through? Or we're done. All right. Yeah. So offer some sort of incentive. Let him know that he only has to be out of the house during the actual presentation. So that's really about, if your presentation is long, at the most an hour and a half. You know what I mean? So that's perfect time for a movie. And if it's shorter, even better. All right, so let's do recruiting. So, Caitlin, how much fun did you have tonight?
So much. Oh my goodness.
So
She really
glad.
does that at parties. She really does.
She does. I've witnessed it.
So, what questions do you have for me this evening?
I'm not too sure. I don't know what questions I have for you right now.
Okay, that means I did my job. Awesome. So, how would you like to host your own ladies' night and earn lots of free goodies?
I do like free stuff. No. I epically fail at the role play. Not that yet. Don't ask me to role play anytime soon.
No worries, but how would you like to learn a little bit about the business opportunity?
I'm not too sure.
Okay. Well, actually, at that point, I probably... Girl, this is supposed to be the recruiting one.
Okay. You said make it a little bit difficult. I'm trying to make it a little
Well,
bit
if she
difficult.
says no, all right. So,
I didn't say no. I said I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Caitlin, I see you wrote down on your connection card that you might be interested. What interests you most about the business?
I really like the product, and I really am interested in making money.
Okay, awesome. Well, what's holding you back, if anything?
Well, getting the money together for the kit would be one.
Okay.
And how would you start? Like, I mean, like doing, like getting like parties and that stuff on the box.
Okay. I totally understand what you're saying. Honestly, when I started my business, I was afraid of hosting parties because, actually, true story, my husband freaked out on me when I bought my kit because he was like, you're not going to be able to book any parties, so your business is going to die right away, okay? Swear to God. So I totally understand how you feel. What I found was that our products are in high demand. People really do want to have parties like this. So I will help you make your money back from your initial investment, and then and I'll show you how to book parties too. So how would you like, I can send you home with a little bit of information tonight, and how would you like, we could set up a phone call within the next couple of days so I could answer your questions a little bit more in detail.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right, sounds
That way
good.
I'll have more questions for you by the time we have our little combo.
Awesome. So you've got 2 pieces of homework, Caitlin. I want for you to save my number in your phone right now so that you know when I call you that you know it's me. Okay. And I also want for you to tell, who do you make important decisions with?
It's just me, myself, and I, so.
Do you have like your mom or your best friend, like anybody that you talk to about like if you're thinking about something?
Mostly my aunt, so.
Okay. So here's what I want for you to do. I want for you to go home and I want for you to talk to your aunt. Let her know that you came across this opportunity, you're interested in it, and that you wanted to see what she thought. And if she has any questions or concerns, I want for you to write those down so that when we talk, we'll have scheduled a time when we talk tomorrow that we'll be able to talk through those questions and concerns. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. So what goodies would you like to take home tonight? And then I go into the order. So, yep, that's it in a nutshell.
Found.
Yes.
If you guys were listening to what Lisa said, she said, I understand how you feel. I had felt the same way, and I found in the solution. It really works.
Yes, it really does work. It really does work. What questions do you want to ask me about sponsoring, if anything? Or about anything that I just did? Does anybody want to ask any questions? Haley.
What happens when they set up a interview and then they don't answer and you can't get in contact with them? You just
Next.
okay.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, if she wants to, I'll probably still add them to my recruit group on Facebook, and I might check in through text message every once in a while, but I'm not going to chase her down.
Okay.
I'm sorry, honey, I don't know your name. Alyssa.
For the younger age group, since it's 18, and if they young adults still live at home, and they want to host a party, but they don't think their parents would be accepting, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not something they're they're interested?
Oh, yeah.
How would you go about that?
I usually say, first of all, don't judge. Your mom, ask your mom because she might seriously get down on this. Trust me, moms are some of the best house guests. But if not, then do you have a friend that might be able to co-host a party with? And if she still says no at that point, I'll be like, that's okay, can I add you to my maybe later list? Because a no now doesn't mean that she won't be interested next year or 2 years from now. And I hope to be in business at that point. I know I'll be in business, but you know what I'm saying? You should still believe in yourself that you'll be in business at that point. Alicia.
If you have like 15 girls at your party and you go through all these questions, how do you time manage the shopping room? There's like girls out there that are like, okay, come on, we have to order. And
I ask them, I actually have started, at the beginning of my show, I started saying like, my shopping room really does take a long time, to be fair. If I have that many people at a party, I ask for an assistant because they will help bag me and then I can focus on the customer. And I do also say at the beginning of my show, I got this from going to the Cleveland training. Kaylin Clark says, okay, so I want you to fill out your wish list because when you come into Vegas, because I call my shopper in Vegas, when you come into Vegas, if you have questions, you don't want to be the girl that comes in and doesn't know what she wants because you're going to start flipping through that catalog. And you're gonna be like, what am I gonna get? I don't know. And meanwhile, there's gonna be girls standing outside being like, bitch, I need my vibrator so I can go home. Okay? So, yes. So I kind of like say that from the get-go. I set up that expectation and it hasn't been an issue.
okay.
All right. Do we have time? Are we good? I don't want to, yeah. If you want to ask me any more questions, talk to me privately, okay?
I just want to add on real quick to the wish list thing, real quick. I also started saying that if you fill out your wish list, it'll prevent you from impulse buys. And since then, I feel like customers trust you more. So I do exactly what you say that you learned in Cleveland, and then I added on, and then you don't impulse buy too. And they
Because you know what you want.
But the impulse
right. Then they're like, oh,
Sounds good.
if you think you're looking out for them, they'll be more trusting, and then they can impulse buy.
All right. Yes, that's it. Thank you, ladies.